What's going on, guys? It's good to be back. This is Big Man. How you guys doing tonight? Oh man, we are back on this grind. We are going to continue working on Celestial Crash tonight. I had to take a 3-week kind of break because of some issues, computer issues and some health issues, and all good now, but we blew our date for demo really hard. Like the date for demo was like the first of the year. So at this point, we're just going to continue on. We're going to just play it by ear, see what happens. We're going to miss next fest this year, but or at least for February. But it's all good. So no, it's just I just had the flu. I had the flu for like a week. So it was nothing crazy. But yeah, I couldn't do anything. That was Ribbon talking. If for people, Ribbon was asking, was it anything serious or chilling? Like, no, it wasn't crazy. But let's jump on in. We're gonna try to get these scroll bars fixed, and tonight I'm gonna make the choice. I'm gonna watch the tutorial, and I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to make these scroll bars work. If not, we'll just skip it, and I will just go buy an asset and be done with it. Thank you, Riven. Appreciate that. Riven said he's glad that I was back. But let's jump on in here. All right. So what you been up to, Riven? How's the job stuff going? Let's see. So this is where we got so far. We got this kind of mess going on. And then we had it right here where it wasn't. And these should probably not be in front of that for one, but we'll fix that as well. Look at all stuff actually finishing a game. Oh, finishing a game. What are you working on? So I feel like looking at this, I wonder if this should be bigger. Oh, actually, no, it scrolls. Well, it's supposed to. Yeah, so let's see if we can find us a good scroll bar tutorial, Unity tutorial. But too simple. I can't find a way to make it fun, or it's just a character enemy spawn from random positions, and your enemy, your weapon is an axe rotating.
This is now rocking with the big man.
Hey Jibbins, how you doing tonight, man? Thanks for the follow. Rotating around you, you keep trying to dodge them and attack with the weapon rotating around you, but it's boring. Well, that's how you start though. You that sounds like a prototype, and that's exactly what you want, is like to prove out your concepts. And then once you get it proved out, once you freaking co-working and twerking. I like that, man. Get you some action in there as well. You have a cool lurk, man. But yeah, what you want, Riven, is you want then to expand on it. If you think there's a concept there that you can work with, you expand on it to make it fun. You figure out what about it isn't fun, and you try to work towards like what it is, you know, you work towards improving on the concept to make it fun. But that sounds like it sounds interesting. It has a prototype of a roguelike. Okay. Huh. Well, let me know. Maybe I'll check out. I'll check it out whenever you get something working, or get something together. Let's see, what's a good one? What's a good tutorial? How to make a scrollable UI menu. I just want you to finish this game so I can see, to see what we're gonna do next. So pace it. Well, I'm gonna try to get back to Inferno Arena, because this was the detour. Inferno Arena was the actual main game I was working on. But like I said, I'm having trouble with the Steam stuff right now. I think I got a little bit closer over the weekend, figuring out what's going on with Steam. But the way they have that stuff set up, it doesn't help you at all figure anything out. But I feel like I'm working towards it, working towards figuring out how to do the Steam networking stuff. So I'm gonna set up to do this tutorial. One sec. And watch, it just comes together when I do the tutorial.
Scrolling may be useful.
Whoops. Okay. Hold on. Start it automatically. Okay. And then I'm going to put a window in. Yeah, I'm going to put it up on screen in a second. But I'm going to try to actually go through a tutorial to figure out what's going on with these scroll bars. If I can't figure this out tonight, I'm done with it. I will just move on, and then I'll just purchase an asset that I fully set up. But to your point of like seeing how finishing this game, it's going to take longer than I expected, just because I lost 3 weeks. I think this problem was there last time. It was. I've been dealing with the scroll bar stuff for multiple streams previous before I left, and then I initially had problems with them when I first put in the scroll bars, but now I had to update everything, because of the new UI, and now they're broken again. So I'm obviously either I'm doing something wrong or they just suck. The determining factor will be found out tonight. Well, that's what I've been told, but I want to just make sure, remove myself as a factor, because I'm good for not, oops, too big. We're not really following, things the way they should be, or doing things the way they should be. Okay, so we're all gonna watch the tutorial on Scrollbars together, guys.
Scrolling may be useful in many elements of your game. For example, inventory screen or leaderboard. In this episode, I'll show you how to create a simple scrollable list, and also how to create Netflix-like horizontal list with Scrollbar. Here,
We got the Coco code.
Text list with
First time I've seen it.
organized nicks. Don't worry, I'll work on that later. As you can see, when I run the game, the list does not scroll, even though I have some more lines outside of the screen. Let's fix that. The first thing we need to do is to put all of these text elements into one parent game object. Right-click on the canvas in hierarchy and select Create Empty Game Object. Let's call it Content. Then resize it to fill the entire white space. And select all text elements to drag them into the newly created object.
Okay.
Great. Now let's organize them a bit. In the Content object, click Add Component and add Vertical Layout Group.
All right, for one though, I am gonna move this because I don't like the screen I'm looking at right now. One sec. Okay, I think that screen is better. I need to fix this screen. It's a little, the screen I had it on was a little dark. Okay, because I need a bigger screen to look at. Let's back it up just a second.
Then resize it to fill the entire white space. And select all text elements to drag them into the newly created object.
Okay,
Great.
so they need to have a parent game object. That's one. Okay, forgot where everything was. Files menu. The container has the viewpoint and the scroll model. The viewport. The items are here, so they're 2 down. I'm not gonna do anything yet. I'm just gonna keep watching this. Maybe it's going to include the viewport stuff in there.
Let's organize them a bit. In the Content object, click Add Component and add Vertical Layout Group. That immediately fixed some of the styling issues, but we can still do even better. To give our text some space, in padding options, I'll type 24 from all sides. We also can have a bigger spaces between each row using this padding field. In my case, I'll type 16. Then add Content Size Fitter and set Vertical Fit as the preferred size.
Okay.
That way, our content game object will resize to cover all texts. Finally, very important step, set content object as a scroll area child in the hierarchy.
Scroll, wait, okay. Scroll area child. So it's on 1 up. There's the content, and it's on 1 up. All right, back it up for a second. Back it up.
Then add Content Size Fitter and set Vertical Fit as the preferred size. That way, our content game object will resize to cover all texts. Finally, very important step, set content object as a scroll area child in the hierarchy. Great, we can...
Wait a minute, okay. Scroll, he just created... Where did he create that? Canvas render is up on, well, I don't have a canvas render here. I'm going back up because where did he create the scroll area? He just had it there, didn't he?
The list does not scroll, even though I have some more lines outside of the
He
screen.
just had it sitting there and like didn't explain it.
The first thing we need to do is to put all of these text elements into one parent game object. right-click on the canvas in hierarchy and select Create Empty Game Object. Let's call it Content. Then resize it to fill the entire white space. And select all text elements to drag them into the newly created object.
Are you vibing around for Unity, or you had a video that's just like the ultimate Unity caps? Wait a minute, you asked me if I vibe code Unity? Is that what you're asking? Or you had a video that was like the ultimate vibe? Oh, are you talking about this video here? Because I would just pick this video at random. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I am a software engineer and I know C#. Or you have a video that has also no. Yeah, I didn't look at one specific video if I looked at any. I probably did. I know when I first started working with Unity, I went through like the Unity tutorials on their site and but I went through the basic stuff, right? Of how, like, you know, you have the start function and the update function and all that. But I'm also, like, I'm also a software engineer that knows C#, so I was more comfortable in the code than I ever was in the interface. So once I understood about like game objects and how to access them through the code, I was more into that stuff and got really like was learning on my own. But what is tilting me is sometimes I get stuck and I should use a function I didn't hear about. Yeah, no, I just found out from one of the other streams, Searching Interactive was in here and he told me about prefabs, and I had no idea that I was supposed to be loading things through prefabs. Like, it's not it. Excuse me. For some people, for some people, yeah, I've done this whole entire thing for like I've been making this game since 2024. This is the first I actually heard, and making another game before that. This is the first time I heard about using prefabs and loading prefabs, because I was cloning objects in the game instead of just actually loading them as prefabs first. So, and that's one of the reasons that is because I'm a kinetic learner. Like I don't normally watch tutorials, right? I'd rather get in there and actually do it. And that way I'll remember it. If I just watching this video, if I just watch this video by itself, I would forget this in like an hour. All of it. So I normally feel comfortable just digging into the code and digging into, you know, whatever, and then just learning by failing. But also that means I miss certain things as well. Like I just don't learn certain things. But failing at something is more memorable than actually just watching something about it. Okay. Canvas renderer and the rec. So okay, so I want to be same. I want to see, like, now you want to create an object from a prefab. You use something like instantiate. How will you figure this out by your own? So excuse me, I'm still recovering a little bit. Sorry to cough in the mic. So I don't know. So Riv, I don't know if you learn like I learned, right? I don't know if you're a kinetic learner. Like some people learn from instructions. Some people learn from watching examples. You know, some people are like visual learners and stuff like that. Some people are instructional learners. I have to physically mess with something for me to learn it. If you're like me, you need to be honest, when I do stuff, it's 100% faster for me to learn it. Yeah, and so you might be comfortable with like just getting some tutorials, you know? And that's fine. Some people will sit down and they'll just go through a weekend of. I've known people like learn programming languages by just going through a weekend of tutorials, and they're like experts. But that's never been me. Well, you said, to be honest, when I do stuff, it's 100% faster for me to. Oh, like you're actually doing stuff, learning. Yeah, okay. So you're essentially like me. Yeah. So the best way for you to do that, though, is pick a project and then learn about the individual things you need to make the project work. You're still going to miss things because that's how I am. But the things that you get down and actually like implement in your project, you will remember those. You will start to build on those, that set of information. I mean, that's how it works for me. And I just expect, like, I'll learn. I keep myself open that I will have to learn or relearn certain things when I come across them. It's like let's say you are a Japanese and you want to say hi, but only the words, no sign. You feel stuck. That's me. I'm sorry. I'm missing a bit of context here. Okay. You're saying you're trying to learn to speak Japanese, but you want to say hi, only words, no signs. Okay, so you're talking about learning a language. You're learning a language by speaking it, which is part of learning a language. But that language is a little bit different in that it's not. What's a good way to put it? Language is not built to be intuitive. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying. Like, learning a foreign language can be a bit hard if you're learning it while you're trying to speak it. And I've tried to learn foreign languages, and it is difficult for me because you can't just immerse yourself in the culture. You have to. It's not intuitive. You have to actually do some type of learning. Excuse me. And so I've always found it hard to learn languages. Learn languages outside of my own, of course. Excuse me. But eventually you would have to immerse yourself in the language to actually get good at it. I'm talking about programming, still not language. I think I got you. Well, when you said like Japanese, you're talking about like a actual like spoken language versus a programming language. A programming language is supposed to be somewhat intuitive, from my experience. It's supposed to function in a certain way that kind of fits together. So you could kind of dive into a programming language and actually learn it. At least for me, that's how I learned. I learned, yes, but instantiate is wild to guess, like not create or something. But yes, but instantiate is wild to guess, not like create or something. Well, instantiate just like, if you're talking like the function instantiate would like let you copy a game object. I mean, but if you look at that word, is to create or spawn a game. Yeah, okay. So if you look at that word, instantiate, the definition of the word instantiate means to create. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't really say it copies unless you look at the actual documentation of it. Sure. But if you look at the definition for instantiate, you can kind of guess when programming like, okay, this means I'm going to create something from this. If I look at the documentation a little bit more, it's like, oh, okay, this is just copying the thing that I'm passing into it. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, if you're new to programming, maybe it catches you off guard a little bit, but it can be intuitive once you kind of understand what like their nomenclature is. No, not nomenclature. I don't think it's the right word. The way they reference or the way they talk about certain things. I don't know, maybe, hopefully I'm making sense about that. Remove my hoodie. It's a little warm in here now. Okay, so let's get back to this. So he...
Great. Now let's organize them a bit. In the content object, click Add Component and add vertical layout group.
Right, we had that.
We immediately fix some of the styling issues, but we can still do even better. To give our text some space, in padding options, I'll type
padding options, yeah, we got that.
Sides. We also can have bigger spaces between each row using this padding field. In my case, I'll type 16. Then add content size fitter and set vertical fit as the preferred size. That way, our content game object will resize to cover all text. Finally, very important step, set content object as a scroll area child in the hierarchy. Great! We can now finally create a scrolling script. In scroll area, click Add Component and add Scroll Rect.
Okay.
Here, assign our content object.
So I had one more up from that. So what if I put this up here? Oh, well, I should not do that in play mode.
And make sure that scrolling is only vertical, not horizontal. That's it. Press play and try to scroll like in the mobile device.
But see, it needs a viewpoint, so I just got rid of that.
You can also use mouse scroll, but you might find it a bit too slow.
No.
To fix that,
Okay.
change the scroll sensitivity to something like 20. Much better. You might have already noticed one issue though. Our text overflows the white box here at the top.
Right, we need a mask for that. I get that. Yeah, I got it.
You might already know how to fix that. Stop the game and add the rectangle.
It didn't change anything for me.
Component to our scroll area. It will mask out everything outside it. Additionally, for optimization purposes, it's a good practice to set the same object with the mask as a viewport. Now, when I press play and scroll, you can see our perfectly masked out UI. The next example will be this Netflix-like UI. I have listed here different episodes from my Coco Code channel, and I like to have it nicely done with the scroll bar like in the list at the bottom. I've already prepared scroll area and content game objects. Let's add all necessary components. In content, add horizontal layout group. Change left
Okay,
and right.
so I don't need
to
that.
22
That's
this
if I
time,
want a horizontal.
and change its spacing to 16.
But I will
Then
let this
add
finish out just in case so I
size
don't miss
feeder,
anything.
And this time, set horizontal feed to preferred size. You may need to change the content position after that change.
Did he
Finally,
never
in
set
the
a scroll
area,
bar?
at scroll rect, assign content, uncheck vertical scroll, change sensitivity.
Well, he's
to
just
20,
scrolling. Okay, so he's not adding a
and
scroll
set
bar.
our
He's making
scroll
a
area as a
scrollable
viewport.
area.
Great.
Okay, so this is
We
not
can
what
now
I
run
really
the
need.
game and test our scrolling. Everything works fine, except one thing. When I try to start scrolling between images, nothing happens. We can easily fix that. Simply stop the game and add image component to our content object. That way, every gap will also be treated as a scrollable area.
That's interesting.
Don't forget to change its color to transparent, or in my case just to black. Now let's add the scroll bar. Right click on the scroll area in hierarchy and select UI scroll bar. Change its position and size to fill almost the entire width of the screen. Then change its color to very transparent white. That way it will be much easier to distinguish the handle from the background. Finally, to make it
Okay,
work,
wait a minute,
click on the
wait,
scroll area
okay.
object
Oh,
and Gravitas
I'm back
fill
up.
almost
I
the
missed
entire
something.
width of the screen. Let's add the scroll bar. Right click on the scroll area in hierarchy.
Okay. I don't. So he's adding it as a component. I wonder if this is old. Let me make this visible. Or is it visible? Oh, that's the pause menu. What am I doing? I was in the wrong menu. Never mind. Okay, let's actually do the menu I wanted to do. Let's see. So we had this, we had this. So he didn't have the list items. He had the list items here. We got rid of this. Let's see how that works. Okay, so let's keep going.
And select UI scroll bar. Change its position and size.
All right. And forgive me for having to keep pausing.
Click on the scroll area in hierarchy and select UI scroll bar. Change its position.
All right.
And and size to fill almost the entire width of the screen. Then change its color to very transparent white. That way it will be much easier to distinguish the handle from the background. Finally, to make it work, click on the scroll area object and drag in the newly created scrollbar here into the horizontal scrollbar field. You can see that our scrollbar has immediately changed its size, and when I run the game, it works as intended. That's it for this video. Be sure to subscribe if you like to be notified about any future Unity UI videos.
Alright. Oh, that's why I need to be in the right place. Okay. Ton of bricks, how you doing, man? So I just have the same problem. I'm good, man. Just trying to figure these scroll bars out. The final, like, do or die about these scroll bars. I will get it tonight, or I will just kick it to the curb and go buy an asset. But that didn't help me at all. I ended up at the same place. Because that's the way they were working before. So you really don't even need the viewport, though. Why do we have the viewport? Maybe we try another tutorial. All right, 1 sec while I figure something out. While I find something else. Your code is how I kind of learned how to do UI. Okay. But I'm gonna try another one. That just didn't help me.
Hey guys, it's Matt. Welcome to.
I mean, I definitely suck at it because I still can't get it to work.
Showing how to use scroll views or scroll lets to be able to control content that you have assigned them, and then you'll be able to understand how to use this. Put your content within the box.
I don't know if I want that. I want scroll bars.
Lists or anything that you might be able to update in your community. To create yourself a scroll view from the basic sense, you can right click where you are and choose the scroll view, and you'll get a basic preview here. I'm going to set the width from height And as you can see with the scroll view now, it has no content in it, but it has some horizontal and vertical scroll bars. Now you can see that it's made up of a scroll bar vertical, a scroll bar horizontal. Now they're a little bit ugly, and you can change these yourself, but I will show you how to disable them too. There is a viewport, which has a mask. So whatever's inside this will actually be masked and never go out of the edge and you'll never be able to see it. And you've got content we want to show inside this box. And also you can see on the canvas, I've got a whole bunch of sprites that I've created that are images with just as much sprites. We want to place them inside the scroll and be able to use them and control them. So if you make sure you open up the scroll here, go to content, make sure you grab all of the items or the images that you want to go in there, drag them inside the content here, and you don't see anything, just they're all masked off around the row, as you can see if you don't display, unless they're very much in the center. So on my content, I want to add a new component, I want to create a grid layout group. Now with the grid layout group specified, we've got all the icons that we previously wanted. So I'm going to set the cell size of 200 by 200. I'm going to set the cell spacing by 20 by 20 so we get a little bit of space. And then we can leave everything as default here, but I'm going to have the child alignment upper center, just so that we centralize them nicely. So do be sure to check out my Patreon to get access to over 185 different scripts, assets and projects you cannot find anywhere else. And be sure to check out all the links in the description for the sales, savings, and everything in game. Now with this creator, you can actually start dragging the things around. You can access some of the things at the bottom. Now what we can do on our content is that we want to make sure that your actual content slider here, which we can select, as you see when we move, the actual horizontal bar goes up and down. We need to make sure that it's nice and big enough to actually fit all the objects that we want to create. But to make this easier, we can add a component called a content size fitter onto where we had a layer group, and you can see that we want to fit by vertical because there's more of a vertical layer that we want to scroll through.
Though I do like what you have so far, it looks like it belongs in arcade, and I love it. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
More objects at runtime, so now you can see we can scroll up and down. Yes, I can do horizontal, but we'll go through the settings shortly. So now I've got everything. Now let's say if I added more objects at runtime, now you can see that my content size fitter fits it perfectly, even if I add more. Now, we wanted to look at the scroll view, and you can see that we don't really like those ugly looking objects on either side. Now I'm going to go to the vertical slide bar and just make sure that I choose none. The horizontal slide bar, click none, and then I can just hide these two objects at the top, just get rid of them. And if we go back on the scroll view again, we can make sure that we disable the horizontal movement because we don't want to move it vertical. So we'll not get that anymore. We can go to our viewport, and we want to make sure that we drag that viewport, bang it all the way down, just so if you move the viewport, it will be masked off in different areas. So we're dragging it all the way down because we've got rid of those items. Make sure the content still has the content fit. Now if we try and play, we can only scroll up and down with the exact content that we need. And then if you look at the scroll rec settings, you have an ability to increase or decrease the elasticity. So it will be a much greater effect of how the elasticity works. It'll take much more time to bring it back, so it's good to keep that level much lower, as about 0.1, just to have more of a smooth effect. If you made it 0, you would get it instantly snapping back to the top. You do have it unrestricted if you wanted to scroll forever, but it is good to keep moving type on elastic so you're all...
Man, this is not helping me.
And remember, with a scroll rect, with the grid layout group, you can use other things like vertical layout groups or horizontal layout groups, and they can help you control bunches of icons without you having to specifically do this yourself. Do be sure to come and check out my Patreon to get access to over 185 different scripts, assets and projects you cannot find anywhere else. Come and check out all the links in the description for
okay.
sales, trading, everything you can find in gamedev.
Let's try one more.
Hey, how's it? Show you how to set up a scrollable menu that you can use in your games. So like the statistics menu I have over here, It's nicely masked, scrollable, and if I look over here in my hierarchy,
because I've got that.
Expanded this here.
I'm not like, I actually do have a scrollable, this menu is scrollable by hand, but the problem is, or manually, the problem is that nobody scrolls.
Very useful.
Like, I've taken this to play test and nobody scrolls the game. Nobody scrolls the menu manually. They need the indicator to tell them that that they can scroll. That's why I'm trying to do a scroll bar.
It's going to also create an event system, which we need for any UI work. Zoom out to see the whole canvas.
And even then, I don't think they're going to scroll. I think I'm going to have to put indicators in.
Instead of reference resolution of 1920 by 1080, I'm also using a display aspect ratio of 16.
How long is this?
Under the canvas, we are now going to create
8 minutes.
a UI image, and we'll just rename this to be panel. I'll click on our rect transform, the pivoting anchor presets icon. I'll hold Alt and I'll make it scale to the entire screen size. And then I'll give it some padding of 500 on the left and right, and 200 on the top and bottoms. There we go, it looks like a decent size. And I'll right click again on the panel, go to UI, create a new image, and we'll call this one Scroll Rect.
Imagine being able.
Come on.
In here, I will actually, on this first panel, I'm going to change the color first so we can see the difference. So there's our background panel, and this is going to be our scroll rect. I'll also hold Alt and resize it to take up the full size, and then I'll just give it padding of 100 on each direction, so it's a bit of a contained area. And then I'm going to right click on the scroll rect one more time, go to create another UI image, and I'm going to make this one, hold Alt and make this one take up the entire size. Just for good measure, I'll also give it a different color so we can tell what's happening. So we have our black background panel, the scroll rect object itself here, which is this white area, and then the image underneath, which I'm also going to rename to content. And this is where we're actually going to put our scrollable items underneath this one. Very important to make sure the content is takes up the full size of the scroll rect. Scroll rect can be whatever size you want. On the scroll rect,
the content. Okay, wait a minute. Back up to that.
And this is where we're actually going to put our another UI image, and I'm going to make this one, hold Alt and make this one take up the entire size. Just for good measure, I'll also give it a different color so we can tell what's happening. So we have our black background panel, the scroll rect object itself here, which is this white area, and then the image underneath, which I'm also going to rename to content. And this is where we're actually going to put our scrollable items underneath this one. Very important to make sure the content is takes up the full size of the scroll rect.
So my problem with that is my content is dynamic. So I would have to I would have to know how many are going in here. What's up, Mr. Human Limits? How you doing tonight, man? I would have to know how many are going in here, and then I would have to update the rect, the scroll rect component, right? So I think that's my big problem. Yeah, I'm giving it. Oh, I'm good, man. I'm giving this one more shot with these scroll bars, and if I can't get it tonight, I'm gonna just go get it. I'm just gonna buy an asset and be done with it. Something that will take dynamic elements, which is probably what's gonna happen, because I think my big problem is I'm populating the scroll bar during the game. I looked, it's not crazy. It's, I don't remember the prices, but it was feasible. Like, in contrast to what I looked at for Inferno Arena, for Inferno Arena, I looked at assets to work with Steam networking. That was like $100 and I wasn't going to pay that. So this is reasonable. The scroll bar stuff I saw was reasonable compared to that. So I can give you an idea. I usually use the default scroll bar and then either hide the bar or make it very small. Right, but have you ever dynamically populated a scroll rect? Like the content for the scroll bar, have you ever dynamically populated it? Because I think that's where my problem is.
When we die, our bodies become the grass, and the antelope eat the grass. And so we are all connected in the great circle of life.
Have you ever like populated it? Like it wasn't a static list. It was a list that you populated with elements somehow in code. No problem, Tons. Because I was told by somebody who is in the game dev industry when I said that Unity scroll bars suck with dynamic elements, I was told I was wrong. And this is a guy that should know. And so I've been trying to rectify my lack of knowledge compared to him. If I'm wrong, I want to know that I'm wrong. I mean, I want to make sure that I'm I learned why I was wrong. I always make everything before the bar and then just update it later. Okay. Oh, I can definitely be wrong, man. Probably just trying to start. No, I think he meant well. But I did try to engage him and he didn't want to talk to me anymore after that. Okay, let's continue.
On the scroll rect, we are going to go to add component.
I bet you though. I bet you.
Objects.
It's just your history.
Stuff. Under content, we're going to drag in content. Under viewport, we are going to drag in the scroll rect. And then I'm going to uncheck horizontal because we want this scroll rect to go vertically. We want it to go up and down.
You know the person I want to ask? I want to ask Dayanara because I know I've seen him put one together, but I don't know what he did. And I don't know if he programmed it or if he had an asset.
Graphic or not, but if I disable this content object, we can see there's the white image. And then if I just disable this, we're not going to see that white image anymore.
Guess what's up, Mr. Limits? What's up?
We want to know this white area is where we'll be able to scroll, but we don't actually want to see the white area. So I'm just going to leave that unchecked, and we'll leave the content object turned on, and then we can make this invisible if we want to, just by like changing the alpha. I'll leave it on though, just so we can see that this is our scrollable area. Next, I'm going to right click on the content, go to UI, and create a
wonder if I could actually
and we'll rename this to content item, and I'm going to duplicate
update this or update the container with the size.
So
I don't know.
Next, I'm going to go to
so my brother was convincing me he was very nice and all the time. When I disagreed, he said, "Come on, admit it. I'm way nicer than you." Oh man. Now you have to look inside yourself and understand, is that true? Why were you crushed?
For us. So on here, I'm going to check control child size width, and that's going to make each of these be forced to take up the entire width of the area. You'll also notice that right now they are being stretched out to take up the entire height of this content container. I'm going to disable child force expand.
Then I laughed in his face and told him that basically proves that he's not nice, and he realized that would mean he wasn't nice, and then changed it to Nice
The masks
sometimes.
already work because they just disappear right underneath and you can no longer see them.
Gotcha.
Let's just hit play to see how that actually looks in the game and how that would work right now if we were to just leave it like this. Okay, so here we go. You can see like, you know, it kind of gives what we're looking for, but also not really. So there's a few more steps we need to do. On the content object, the next thing we're going to do is add a new component, and this one is going to be called a content size fitter. And we're going to change the vertical fit here to preferred size. And immediately you're going to notice that there's this green box that has just appeared here. And what this is basically doing is it's forcing the content area to take up the entire size of our content items. So if I was to duplicate this a few more times, you're going to see that this is going to get bigger. And on the other side, if I was to disable it, it's going to get smaller. So we also kind of need to make sure that we have a bit of a adjustment.
See that?
This. Okay, so here we go. You can see like, you know, it kind of gives what we're looking for, but also not really. So there's a few more steps we need to do. On the content object, the next thing we're going to do is add a new component, and this one is going to be called a content size fitter.
Right.
We're going to change the vertical fit here to preferred size. And immediately you're going to notice that
Preferred
there's
size,
this green
right.
box that has just appeared here. And what this is basically
Yeah,
doing is
I already
it's
got that.
forcing the content area to take up the entire size of our content items. So if I was to duplicate this a few more times, you're going to see that this is going to get bigger, and on the other side, if I was to disable it, it's going to get smaller. So we also kind of need to make sure that we
But
have
does that work dynamically during runtime?
and also one thing we need to do is you're going to notice that in the content area right now, we have the Y position set to 0, which is what we want. But if we were to start it, it means that our game would be starting in the middle of the scroll rack. So I need to change the anchor's Y pivot to 1, and then reset the Y position to 0, and this makes sure that our content scroll
my
area
head.
is starting at the very top.
Oh,
let's get
also,
that
have
another
you
5
seen the
seconds.
game Super
Here we go.
Rude Bear?
And beautiful.
Wait, what am I doing? I need. No, I'm good, man. I can do both. But no, I haven't heard that game.
See it doesn't look great with the pink background, so you probably don't want to actually have that background showing up here. So I'm just going to disable the alpha. And now if I was to do this, actually it looks perfectly fine. You have that bit of elasticity, and it just looks really good there. So I'm going to disable the spacing on here, and also show you how you can just add some manual spacing if you wanted to. Like say you had an area on here and you had like a header item, and then you had this bolded and underlined, and now you have some content, and then you want to have another header item with some content underneath, but you want some spacing. So duplicate this one, move it down to the bottom. You know, looks okay, but we probably want some spacing underneath.
It's
there.
a precision
So what
platform
we can do
criminally
is a little
underrated.
trick.
I'll check it out after we finish
Number
watching this.
5, I'm gonna duplicate number 4, rename this to just like a couple of dotted lines, and we'll just delete the words content item, and there you go. Now
But I think we're done here.
If I wanted to kind of
Nothing's helping me figure out how to deal with dynamic populating of a scroll area.
and just increase the minimum height.
Bro gets the
We need to
deepest
make sure the
extraction.
control child size
I gotta
height
figure out what that
enabled
is.
here. And if we have that option checked, then we can just adjust the minimum height.
Because if I turn my head too
value
far,
here,
it
and we can
bends
see that we can
like it's
automatically
crazy.
control our spacing that way, so that isn't.
But the camera is up here above me.
Have some header items.
Oh, my hand won't go up towards it.
Displays. And again, if I was
It's up
really
above me.
something
Up.
crazy,
It's
you
up
can see
here.
that it still scrolls and resets.
And so if I turn my head,
So that's how we can create a scrollable.
My neck goes
vertical
crazy.
group area with masking. Very helpful for creating different menu items. Thanks for watching.
all right, none of that helped me. Okay, so I think we're kind of done. All right, so what we will do from this point on is we will get the other stuff working. Kind of scratching my face here. We will get the other stuff working. And for tonight, bump the scroll bars because I ain't dealing with it no more. It's taking way too much time. So let's see where we're at, because we need to get this UI done. The UI should have been done last month. And so far, the music, I can't get the music done right now because I just financially can't do it. It's probably going to be tax time before the music's done. Oh no! Wait, tons. Just think about it before you do it. If you're trying to improve my mood, I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. It's going to improve your mood. Good grief, they're negotiating it. All right, I wonder why the frisbee was getting bigger. Then it hit me. Actually, that's actually not a bad one. Hey, okay. You know, we'll golf clap that once I can find it. Oh, there it is. I think that was two. Oh, that's for YouTube. You have it in redeems, Revan. What is it called in redeems, by the way? I don't think it's called golf clap. Sorry, dude, but I couldn't do the same thing on YouTube. Oh, it is golf clap. Okay. You have to talk to, well, I couldn't make those just straight up commands on Twitch and do something else for the points. I just got lazy. But I'm also planning to do more stuff for redeems anyway. But then the point becomes what's fair? What's fair for you guys to have points, and what's fair for YouTube to just be able to do? But YouTube has timeouts. And really, what I need to do is on Twitch, I need to remove the timeouts. That would make it more fair. Or fairer is the right word. Okay, so what I want now, we're just gonna do some cleanup here. I want this to be, I need to get the image out and actually see what this is supposed to be versus what this is supposed to be, and then this needs to line up to the top at least at the beginning, and then I can not worry about it. Anyway, I was experimenting with music and found a detune faded in chords, and I cooked it up so hard. Not gonna lie. Okay, you want me to check it out? Let me know, man. Oh, I was gonna check out that game you were talking about. But I've lost something here. Where did I put it? Did I close the right window? Nope. And you called it... Oh. Super Rude Bear. I see a Super Rude Bear Resurrection.
Rated T for teen.
Okay. Okay, it feels like Meat Boy a little bit. Without the sliding. It looks interesting. Music's great. What is that? That looks crazy. And the worlds rotate? That's actually pretty cool. That actually looks pretty cool. Now, I wasn't feeling until like you started rotating the world, and that was when it started looking crazy. All right, that's cool, man. Is that something you've been playing, or is it just something you saw? Okay, what are we doing here? I need to bring up the image. Oh, you saw it? Okay, all right. That's cool. I like seeing like what's out there. I'll never do a platformer, but I definitely should be doing more blah blah blah, more market research on what's out there in the types of genres I'm going to be launching a game in. And just other cool stuff. It's only been platinum on PlayStation 26 times. It's nuts. That's just the reality of the day, man. There's so much good stuff in the market these days. It's just hard to break out. I've said I don't expect. I was talking about this yesterday. I don't expect Celestial Crash to make like any money. I just want to break even, get a game out there, get my first game out there, and just break even at least. And you will make a precision platform? Okay, cool. But yeah, I have watched people that I know launch games, and it seems like I heard Angry Birds Dev made 48 failed games before. I would not doubt that at all, especially mobile games. Mobile games are literally iterate and put out until something hits. That's what I've heard from mobile game developers. But yeah, I've known a couple people that have launched games and they're not happy with the results of their initial launches, at least. I believe you may keep it working. You'll see. I appreciate that tons. I'm trying to be realistic. For context, for a platinum of PlayStation, you need to beat every level deathless. I was just saying it was very. Oh, you were saying. I thought you were talking about the sales of the game. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense as well. When I succeed, don't forget you guys. I would hope I would remain humble. I would very much hope that I would remain humble. Your face. Oh, let me get this image out so I can. Remember us dad jokes when you become dad joke fan? Oh, okay. Okay, so this is the way it looked. Let's at least try to get these looking this way, looking uniform at least. And then get this up to the top, and then we'll call that done for right now. Why this looks better than what you, why this is better than you previously, huh? Why this looks better than what you have currently? You talking about the image here? This final version. Well, yeah, this is the final version I got from the guys I had do the UI. Yeah, this is what I'm following, trying to mimic, or trying to replicate. Minus the back, because I didn't care for that background, and I didn't keep the choose level because I just thought it was redundant. Stroke? What do you mean stroke? But yeah. So maybe you just want to make that smaller. Whoops, didn't I mean do that? Didn't I mean do that? I think this is supposed to be. You read that one message like 8 times before getting it. Because I have dyslexia. I've actually been diagnosed with severe dyslexia. I am making a joke about your inability to read a sentence. I know. Menodano, how you doing, man? No, you're fine, Miss Human Limits. That's all good. I make no bones about that. How you doing tonight, Menodano? I'm good. I'm good. I'm back in the saddle and riding again. Just trying to figure out why I can't make any of these scroll bars do what I want them to do. What you been up to, man? You ate your beans. Okay. And now it's set. Is that a big, like, food item? I'm sorry. Are you English, by the way? Because I wonder if that is beans like a big, like, dietary thing there. I know, like, there's beans and toast. Stop me if I'm being silly. You are English. Okay, I kind of figured that. I should try beans and toast sometime. It's like when your tongue fail and you read, so you stumble upon it sometimes, or what. So dyslexia is when, like, I read something and it, like, reverses in my brain, or I see words that aren't there because my brain's trying to move too fast. So that's why I stumble, because my brain is, like, tripping up over words. and I have to like slow down and reread. So being chili beans and corn, I love a good chili bean, man. Like some of my Sundays are usually chili bean Sundays, where we make some chili beans with some rice, and we throw some hot sauce on that. It's good. Also, what if someone made a bullet rhythm game? Good grief. Oh, also, what if somebody made a hell bullet rhythm game? Hasn't somebody done that? I swear that sounds familiar. Yeah, BPM. Let me see it. Let me see if I can look that up. Because that sounds familiar. BPM game. Huh. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Thank you, Madonna. Now, this feels like something I'd play. I know every game. The music is slapping. Nice. Stream it? I don't know, man. I'm just glad my computer is actually pushing to Twitch and YouTube tonight. Let's collab and do a game like this. I need to do a collab one day, man. I need to work with. I need to really get back into game jams, because I really need to like learn from other people and start doing more stuff like collabing. Because that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, Riven, about like the things I'm missing from learning on my own. Is just I'm missing the expert. I'm missing working with experts or people who have more experience than me, teaching me certain things that I just wouldn't learn by doing things on my own and not spending hours upon hours in tutorials. Oh, there's another game called Hemomancer? Let me see what that is. I missed that one. I don't see a game. I see a class. Oh, never mind. I see it on Steam. Never mind. I'll show you a website I made for you. Forget. Oh, that was you saying that. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, you made this. Okay, you made the website for it. I'm getting confused. Okay, you made the website for it. Madonna was talking about the game. Okay, gotcha. Oh, they don't have any video. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I remember you showed me the website. So that makes it smaller. So, man, Donald, how's your game going, man? Now, actually, when I be lurking in your stream, I actually have appreciated watching you play Digimon Cyber Sleuth. It's one of those games that I wouldn't play myself, but I have actually enjoyed watching you play it. So I can actually see what that game was. Answers peachy. Okay, cool, cool. What's your timeline for it? Like, where are you at right now, and where do you think you might like either put out a demo or like do a launch? I feel you, man. Like, I was supposed to have a demo for this out at the beginning of the year, and like that whole thing with my computer and, you know, being sick for a week really messed me up. So I feel you. Don't tell the boss. Oh, do you work for somebody? Oh, it's science. Okay, okay. See, I never picked up you two working together. That's super cool. Did I miss something though? Maybe I can make a demo of what I envision. Do that, man. Always prototype your ideas out. How did I mess this up? Dude, if I could, I would just be doing like prototypes of every like idea I really want to do, and I would never make a game. Because I would always be so excited to jump on the next thing. So this must be changed dynamically. Yeah, the VR blacksmithing thing, I really lost steam when I found out I had to code VR and physics myself. Wow. What were you putting that on, by the way? Because I had debated on a VR interface for Inferno Arena, where it's like a chessboard, where you see the whole field as a chessboard. And I had honestly thought about it, but I didn't want to put that in scope. Like that's maybe a future thing if VR ever makes it where somebody would competitively want to actually see the field in 3D space. You were just using, it was just using your index? I was just using my index. I'm not sure what that means. Like what were you doing the VR blacksmithing on? What platform, I mean? Oh, you didn't put it to our platform. You were just doing it in VR. Okay, I think I get what I think I get what you're saying. PC. Okay. You were just designing it to be in PR. You didn't have a platform. What I'm guessing. Like the Quest or the Vibe or whatever. Gotcha. Okay. So y'all check out Metadano. Y'all want to see some great Unreal game dev? Y'all go check him out. And he's usually on during the day where I can actually like talk for a second, and then I have to go to work, so I have to lurk in the stream. So he's entertaining just to kind of catch while I'm doing things. So I'm guessing this is dynamically controlled because this is changing. I may just not bother with this. No problem, Mandano. Excuse me. Okay, it's not helping me at all. Oh, also, we can divert for a second real quick. I forgot what I did last night and I haven't put it in here yet. Metadano, he's in chat on Twitch. Divert real quick. And put this thing in here that I did last night. I was just kind of looking for something to do. And I just gotta remember where I put it. Let me go look for it. Where did I put that thing? I mean, I didn't save it. Oh, I know exactly what I did with it. I think. Okay, I think I accidentally completely lost it. All right, well, actually, I'm gonna have to go look for something. How did I just lose that entire thing? Did I not save it? Okay, well, never mind then. I guess I must have not have actually saved it at all. That's crazy. How did I not do that? Never mind. Never mind what I was just saying. I'll work on it off stream and bring it up later and put it back together later. Okay. All right, back to this. Okay, so this is not changing the size at all, right? Focus on the handle, change the bottom, right? I got a feeling this is being dynamically changed, so this is not doing this is not helping me. Yeah, no. This is utter garbage, and I won't deal with this again. I won't deal with that tonight. Okay, so let's do this. I'm not going to mess with the scroll bar anymore. I'm going to actually just see if I can get this in the right position. Here's a level info. Let's reset though, just to make sure we got it in the initial position. All right. This is the scroll bar. This is the viewport. This is the level info. What if I change this a little? Okay. No, it didn't change anything. All right. Oh, that's the left. It's not. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. And I tried to fix that masking, and that masking did not work at all. Okay, there we go. And hey, at least it doesn't go up to the top there, but it doesn't also go here. It doesn't. Let's see. But it doesn't also scroll down in case there's more. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. The thing I was talking about earlier that I thought I didn't save, I actually found it. So let me set it up. What the heck just happened? Okay. You got Deadpool over here chilling. Okay, he's giving me a stripper dance. I'm trying to, like, you know, wave him off. Now I'm gonna move myself over just so you can see him. One could say you're trying to wade him off. That wasn't even a bad joke. That was just bad. And you went like deep lore for that one. I'm trying to find the avatar to move him over. He'll eventually become a redeem. Once I get around to setting that stuff up. Where is my avatar stuff? Oh, there it is. High five, man. High five. Get down. All right. Let's see here. So we got that done. I'm not messing with any more scroll bars tonight. The next part, really, we could just kind of move on to. That's gonna bug the hell out of me. We can move on to actually the next. Well, we gotta get rid of that. We can move on to the next interface, which would be the main screen, the main level stuff. Well, does C# help in .NET back or totally different? In Unity. Okay, hold on. I'm getting confused. Okay, does C# help with .NET background, or is it totally different? And do you mean Unity? Okay, so you can do .NET in C#, because that's what I do. And I have made I've gotten Unity to talk to my net code, which was built in C#. Well, C#, C++. So you can get Unity to talk to it, but it's not. It's straight up. You got to straight up program that. Like you can't. There's no plug and play solution for it. Because when you say backend, are you talking about like doing like networking, multiplayer stuff, co-op stuff like that? Like I was doing for Infernal Arena? A web dev backend. A web dev backend, are you talking about like a PHP type deal? Like you want to like have Unity talk to an actual website? Or are you talking about like web sockets? Because part of my implementation was WebSockets, but Unity didn't use that. It used TCP for a website backend. Because when you say website backend is usually like PHP and to like a database or something like that. Or are you talking about like React to a? Oh, you were talking about ASP.NET. Yeah, I'm not familiar with ASP.NET. I have done some original ASP. But if you want Unity to talk to something like that, you'd have to write an implementation that lets it interface with an API. Because what is your idea for using with Unity that you would need to talk to like a web backend? Okay. So first we need to get rid of that back that's showing up in the level. So let's get rid of that. What is that? Okay, so that's that. Maybe you're just in the wrong place. I'll just ask. I just ask if it's good to work on both, because you know I like to be a jack of all trades. It depends on what. So being a jack of all trades is good, but eventually you're going to want to be you're going to want to have some specialties, right? You don't want to just specialize, because I've seen people get messed up over that, where they only specialize in one thing, and then when that one thing is not something anybody wants, they can't find work, right? But you want to be really good at certain things, even if you're a jack of all trades. And so you're good at the web dev. What would be a good thing? If you want to do Unity and you're good at web dev, what would be a good cross section of that? I know Unity can be, you can render your game out, or you can build your game out to work on a website. I don't know the particulars right now, but I've done it. Yeah, I know there's some cross section. I just can't think of it right now. But I would play to your strengths. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now. My brain is like completely the WebGL. Yes. Because his question was, how can web dev, I feel like he's asking, how do you use web dev in conjunction with Unity? Like, what's the cross section that would help, that would be a good mix of those two things? I don't know, Amanda, I don't know if you have an idea about that. For UI design, yes. Yes, that's a good idea. Thank you. So what he's saying there is web dev can actually be worked into game UI design. Quick question, make sure your brain works. I don't know about back end, if you get good at writing multiplayer code, anti-cheat code. Yeah, with the backend stuff, I've got some experience with that, and that you'd have to write your own interfaces. Okay, if I set public enum spawn big man equal 10 Chad, what will be the value of as you get of each as you get them? Okay, so big is 1, man is 10, Chad is 2. Tell me if I'm wrong about that. I'm guessing we're doing this in wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm guessing Chad will be 11, right? Would Chad be 11? Because it's incremental. Because I'm guessing most languages don't have 0. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to think. Does C have enum for 0? Start at 0 or 1? Huh. So I got it. It was 1, 10, 11. It's 0, 10. Okay, so it does start at 0. Okay, you're talking about JavaScript. I wonder. Let me take a quick look at this. So JS enums, that's C#. Okay, C#. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I messed up. C# starts at 0, and then you increment after the previous value. Okay. Thanks for reminding me of that. Because I know I've actually run into that problem when I'm coding. When I was coding stuff for Infernal Arena, where I was getting number values from the back end. Because I think this is why I'm getting mixed up. Hold on. I think I know why I was getting mixed up. MySQL enums start at 1, if I remember correctly. I ran into this problem. Yeah, man, we're getting deep in the code here. Yeah. This is where I messed up. My sequel starts with 1. And so when I tried to bring those values into down into Infernal Arena through C sharp starts at 0, so everything was off by 1. You see what you see? You see that the problem I ran into and why my brain got messed up on that? So that's something to remember. Yeah, if you ever take an enum value and from MySQL, you have to -1 it for an equivalent in C sharp. Yeah, yep. That caught me off guard too. One more question. Do you know how to create a file in Linux command? It's the touch command. I feel like I got that right. Yeah, okay, your brain started working again. Because after that whole thing with my computer being gone for 2 weeks, thinking that was something wrong, and it turned out to be nothing. It turned out to be like probably a Windows update. I am seriously looking at going to Linux. Now, I mean, I knew that stuff before that, but like, I'm seriously thinking about moving over to Linux at this point because that cost me like time and money to find out that like there was nothing wrong with my computer and that it was probably like a Windows update issue. Okay. No, this needs to be turned off with these. It needs to be connected to that button. And okay, I know exactly what's happening now. I know, man. I was so frustrated when I found out that there was nothing wrong with my computer, and I spent that money to take it to a shop and lost 2 weeks of work. I mean, I didn't lose work, but I lost like 2 weeks of doing work and streaming. I was so hot. And I've made attempts to like do Arch Linux on laptops, but it didn't work out because I think looking back, it was the laptops that were the problem. So, but I'm going to try to do Oligarchy on this machine right here when I eventually get some time to do it. Yeah, I liked Arch. I liked it. It could be complicated when you have to do updates on things, but I found some apps that really helped, like just make it work. Like after I've struggled with it for like a little bit, I actually looked around and actually found things that actually just did the updates for me, and it was fine. Okay, here we go. I can tell some of this done changed, some of this is dead. Are you using Arch or Manadano? Because I know if I move completely over, I can't, like, I won't be able to move everything. I'll have to have some things on like a Windows like laptop or something, like the Avatar program I got running right now. Like it's when that's Windows only. Manjaro, okay. Yeah, I've never messed with Manjaro. I've done Arch and Ubuntu. Excuse me. Oh, object. It's basically Arch with the, oh, with the, okay. With the GUI packed in, all right. That actually makes me want to try it now, but I really want to try Omegarchy just because it's got OBS in it already. Yeah, I know Python. I built a an AI assistant in Python. Python. What specifically do you want to use Python for, though? Because you're web dev, but I don't know a lot of Python for web dev, unless you're going to hit backend stuff. Here's another of the concepts songs for Inferno Arena. Yeah, I would love to run that stuff here, but I definitely can't run it with OBS. Because I've already crashed OBS once trying. It's good for prototyping. It's good for prototyping. I don't think Python works well for, it definitely doesn't work well for multi-threading because it really doesn't support it out of the box. For C is still like the most powerful language we have. I mean, you know, I wrote part of my netcode in C++. It also can be incredibly dangerous if you're messing around with C is cringe. How? Like what I ran into with my netcode of like I got a crash bug in there and I can't find it. But the reason I ended up there was because with the original code that was working, I was doing stress testing, and I was sending a bunch of I was sending more data than I would normally for the game, like tons more data, just to see how much it could take, and I was getting into an escalating. I found an escalating memory leak. And so instead of addressing the memory leak, I was like, I know of ways to optimize this. I could just go ahead and start optimizing. Well, it just depends on how close you want to get to hardware on that one. C++ versus C. I really don't need to go to C because memory allocation C++ is better. It's easier to deal with instead of manually memory allocating. Because I've written applications in C as well. But yeah, I was like, I'll just optimize this netcode and make it faster anyway. And of course, then in doing that, I created another problem for myself. And then at that point, I was like, I might as well just go ahead and move over to Steam since it's supposed to be temporary anyway. I mean, you just got to understand what pointer. Once you understand what a pointer is, like you understand memory spaces and pointers, it's not that hard. You need to start learning Unreal, like blueprints. I'm sorry. I don't think I'll ever get to Unreal. I think I'm going in the opposite direction. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't think Unreal is for me. Because after this game, if I make another 2D game, it's probably going to be in Godot. And I've actually been seeing people make some interesting 3D Godot games. I'm actually starting to wonder about how much you could do in 3D Godot. Hey, GD script is just like Python. In fact, I like it better. I can see why people like grappling hooks now. They are very fun. Well, if you aim at something and go flying towards it like Batman, that's the dream. Okay, so I got rid of that. All right, so now we need to work on the UI for this. And do I really want to start that tonight? Let's actually look at the image for it. Yeah, exactly. Dude, in Batman and playing the Batman Arkham games, oh my god, the traversal with grappling hook is so much fun. Like that's one of the funnest parts of that game, or those games. Excuse me, I got a cough. All right, let me get your avatar. I was sitting here coughing my butt off. Hey, I can refill that request. Hold on. You can make a request like that. Here you go. And let me move. Now you two can hang out. And then I gotta go take a dog out, so I will be back in a couple minutes. Okay, I was literally walking away when you had when you put big man toes reveal. Like, what the heck, man?
What the fuck?
I'm gonna take a dog out and I'm gonna let you think on that for a second. I'm gonna let everybody in chat think on what you just said for a second. I saw that too. I'm actually taking the dog out so he wouldn't be there. Sorry. Face reveal. You know what though? When this game, when I start like streaming this game like in earnest, like actually like advertising and stuff, I will probably face cam that on the alt channel I got. Sorry, I got some water, so I'm a little bit better. But yeah, my plan is, it won't be soon now because we're not close to demo anymore. I wanted to have demo at the beginning of the year, and then eventually I would face cam on Revcom Games stream which I've never set up yet, which I haven't set up yet. But I have Revcom Games, and I was going to stream on that as a like demonstrating the game. Start that as the official stream for Revcom Gaming. I can't do it tonight because my camera's being used for my avatar. All right, so let's get the... Oh, he's going to bed actually. Yeah. Like after he goes outside to use the bathroom is when he usually goes to bed. That's why I kind of call it the dog cam game, because the dog can or cannot be there, because that's one of his just kind of chilling places. And I kind of feel like when I'm doing my stream, he doesn't like to be in here because of the noise, but sometimes he is there. So you're kind of gambling your points if you're going to see a dog. Yeah, I was answering your question too about the face cam. Face cam will be when the face cam will be when I actually like do the official stream for Revcom Gaming, where I'm actually like demonstrating the game, stuff like that. I'll probably be streaming on Steam, stuff like, making videos for the game. Now, I have thought, since Big Man is in the game, I had thought about him being like a character on that stream. But I mean, I'm probably going to face cam anyway. When hot dog reveal in a normal way, like the food and the bun and the sauce, and I made this so much worse. Sorry, what is going on with you tonight? Mr. Human Limits. Do we need to call somebody to help you? I mean, at some point you were writing that and you could have just stopped and backspaced. I was just trying to fix it. Oh my goodness. But I mean, yeah. All right, let me find this next. You could have a hey. You just YOLO'd it. Let's find this next image of what this screen's supposed to look like. Oh, I forgot. We're not moving the thing. I forgot this is supposed to move depending on which one you clicked. I forgot about that. That actually might be what I need to work on tonight. Okay. But yeah, this isn't pointing at the one you selected. That actually might be what I need to do tonight. Figure out what I'm going to do about it. Would it look okay if I moved it down? I feel like it would go off the screen here. I think what I would do is move it across from this one and this one. And this one I would change the background to the one that has the pointer down here and then position it upwards. If I get money, I'm gonna give it to myself, not to you. No, not to you. I mean, that's fine, man. I'm not up here looking for money. I mean, streaming is not that lucrative. I don't expect to make a bunch of money up here. Besides, there's no donate button on YouTube for you yet. Right, because I'm not monetized on YouTube. I'm a good ways away from it. All right. So let's figure these two parts out first. We want this to be up here to point at these two. And then the third one, we'll have to figure out, like, if it's low, to switch out the background. All right, Miss Human Limits, you have a good night, man. Appreciate the hang.
In case I don't see ya.
Thanks, man.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And don't do anything I'd do without thinking first. I'm a bad example. I know, sir. You have a good night. Okay, let me go grab some tissue for my nose. Okay. All right. So let's work on this part first. We have to determine the top two and then just align the positions. We'll switch over to our coding screen. Okay, what's going on with my coding screen? Why isn't my coding screen working? Not connected. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, there we go. That was when I was trying to make some changes anyway. All right. I guess first we find out where we're populating the list. See if I can remember. Gotta remember, it's been almost a month since I looked at any of this. Where am I populating? I'm trying to remind myself of all this stuff. That's the pause menu. There's the main menu. I'm looking for the list level menu, I believe. Give me a cough. Okay. There we go. I think this is it. See. Instantiate from the template. Level name. A level number. I think this is the interactive component. Yeah, it just does the on click and gives a level number. That's probably where I need to go. Oh, here's the... Okay, yeah, this is what I need. Okay, it gets the game description here. Get the level. So this is setting up the game description stuff right here. This is probably where I need to find out what to position, if it's the top one or two in that list, and what the current position is. So this is what needs to be positioned. But I gotta find out the name of that object I need to get the position from. And they're dynamically named, so I need to get the dynamic name of the object. I need to go back to where it's being set up. Right here. So instantiate it. It's called level. Oh, it's just called level and the level number. All I need is the all I really need to change is the Y. Yeah, then we need a variable, right? Let's do it after this. Nope. Okay. Hopefully that is that simple. Let's jump back over to the main and actually look at our code run. I'm still playing through Radix Chronicles, but I feel like I'm close to the end. Nope, nope, that is not what I wanted at all. What is that back? Or what is the top level here? What am I? Oh, I'm changing. Wait a minute. Hold on. What am I changing? Game description is the level info. Okay, that's not what I want. I actually want the object called level game description. I don't have that anywhere. I don't. And since that's static, I don't need to be calling it with a find. Let's just go grab, let's just go stick it up in a, let's go ahead and cache it. Let's see. Just being picky about where to stick it in here, so it makes logical sense, but. No, we're not doing it. One of them is because it's I. Oh yeah, yep. Which is not correct. Well, never mind. Doesn't matter. Nobody's spell checking around here. Okay. All right, yeah, no. Oh, because it's disabled. Okay, yeah, because it's able at the beginning. I really need to not ever do that when I'm making a Unity game, is have objects that are just disabled on screen or inactive, because the code can't touch them if they're inactive. So we can't put that here. I have to probably do something really dumb, like set it to null, and then once the first time it's ever touched, it'll get it. You know, not the way I want to do it, but for right now, it'll have to do other than completely redoing the way it works. Oh, good night, man, Donald. Thanks for the hang, man. Take it easy.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
but why are you down there? This is... If I do a -1, I'm probably going to get a 0. But that worked. What? I mean, I understand why the failure, but why does this work? Is that working? I mean, at least it's working for here. That is so weird. That works perfect. Oh, it's aligning with the top, isn't it? That's what the problem is. So so it's getting 1 and it's aligning the middle of the top with this, I'm thinking. So it looks like it's working. The top is aligning with the middle. From what it looks like, because this middle center. Oh, huh. No, I mean, looks like it looks like I'm wrong, but that feels like what's happening. Let me try something here. I think I made it on screen somehow. Okay, it's weird. Why does that feel like it's... Okay. Let me look at those values without this. I feel like this game is trolling me. This engine is trolling me. So it's going into the negative. Okay. Those are some big jumps. I was trying to do it by the minus the height, but it doesn't look like that's what the issue is. These are 300, so I figured negative to 300. Just something simple, like a negative. And it just does it. What is this? What is this weirdness going on? Okay, here comes Riven again. Some question to hype you up. I did a equal X value, then do age plus plus, then console write age. What get? I'm trying to understand. What is the value? How would I know the value of X value? Oh, I guess plus whatever value. Because when you're trying to have me find out when the increment happens. Oh, okay. Yeah, the increment happens right after the execute. It happens at the end of execution of that line. Some questions. Okay. If I did age equals X value and then I do age plus plus. Well, you would get an increment of 1 on the whatever the value is. I think it got caught as a link. Yeah, I mean it did, whatever that was. But I figure you were saying age equals X value and then age plus plus, which all you're doing is incrementing the value of whatever age is. Max value. Oh, you would get an exception. Yeah, if age is max value, you're getting the max of int plus 1. Plus 1 puts it out of range, puts it out of max range or whatever, and then you get an error. You get a oh my god, what do you call that exception? Yeah, you're gonna get an exception. No, you get the lowest negative number, which happens in overflow. Wait a minute. No, you get the lowest negative number, which happens in overflow. What language are we talking about again? C++. Okay, C#. I'm gonna look that up. When you overflow, you go into negative side. Now I'm reading here that it casts along, but I might be wrong about that. Oh, but the AI is saying it results in min value. So to prevent overflow, they made it min value? Okay, checked. The block will throw a over exception at runtime. In checked context. Hold on. Okay. C# checked context. Okay, here's what I'm looking at. So, okay, check context of features, controls behavior. Because I'm running, it's saying, so it's saying here. And checked, this will overflow. Oh, okay. Results in min value, like you were saying, from integer overflow. Preventing overflow, wrap behavior, instead of being notified overflow, if you want to prevent wraparound behavior, instead be notified when an overflow occurs, use the checked keyword. The checked keyword would do what I expect would get you an overflow error. Okay. Is ran in checked context. Is ran in unchecked. However, context can be changed to several levels. Keywords explicitly. Project level. Yes, that's what I'm used to right here. So you assume you checked, and that's what I normally that's the comparison I normally use, because I would rather have it. I'd rather have it fail. That's the default way I know how that operates, is in check state. But that's good to know. If you don't have it in check state, it will overflow into a negative. Yeah. Did you know what the check state? Okay, so we both learned something. Okay, I'm not sure how to fix what I'm trying to work on right now. I think I still had it set to something, right? So actually it is aligning. This box is correct, because I'm guessing. Yeah, so this is aligning, this is what's not aligning. What happens if I moved all that up in there? Yeah, what if I put that in there like that? What does that do? $372. There we go. Well, fix that in a second. Okay, let's fix our play button. This guy first. Let's look at the so it gives a little bit of space at the bottom. Yeah, that feels right. Oh, it needs to, that's right, it needs to be, the mask needs to cover right above it. Let's see. Okay, so we just need to lower it just a little bit. And now
I've seen the look inside your eyes and mirrors. I know we're feeling terrorized. We'll pretend that everything's as it should be. Hey, listen, close your eyes and count 1, 2, 3. Won't you dance with me when the clock's
now that needs to be fixed.
sleepers wake, dreams will fade.
You know, I've never heard this song.
Was it real what we saw? I believe. Lost in dreams, we sleep on, tossing and turning. I'd have you stay by my side, never leave. Dream with me, I'm by the sea, watch the waves crash. Hold my hand, think of me and I'll fly.
Let's see. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Ugh. And that mask issue is back now, but I can't fix it. I'm not gonna fix that right now. Next thing is just to get this to line up properly, or to switch the image to the one that has the pointer down and this one up. But actually, I'd have to change the way the positioning works for that specific scenario as well. Hmm. Trying to think, do I really want to do all that? Or do I want to wait and see how far? Like, does this really matter when you're looking at the game? Because at worst, I can actually pull this up because I don't have this. Whoops, did that wrong. I don't have this out here. So I could make the decision. Like, I would literally ask people, do you care that there's a choose level up here? I feel like it's redundant. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with this anymore. I think I'm done with this as far as right now. And then we can move on to like the next stuff on another stream. Wait for everybody to come back from ads. Would you be chilling if I asked ask me a syntax question I can relate and explain that it wouldn't be enough for you? Okay, would you be chilling if you asked me syntax question and I can relate and explain, or wouldn't be enough for you? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Did you want me to ask you a question about syntax? I mean, if you interview me, sorry, wasn't clear. Oh, you're talking about, you want me to gauge your level of knowledge if like you were in an interview. And I've already explained, man, like your level of what's a good way to put it? Your level of programming knowledge is more than enough for any job interview. But that's not mostly what they're going to be asking you. Like the question you're asking me, well, they will not ask you that. Well, they may test you with a couple of like simple questions, but it's not going to be in depth like the questions you're asking me. What they want from you is they want you to understand if you're capable of comprehension and the level of your thought process. Case in point, remember when you asked me that stat question a couple streams ago, like probably last month now, where you asked me about the console logs and the order in which they would be executed or show up or whatever. And I told you I didn't know the answer, but I told you wrong, but I told you why I thought I was right. That's the kind of thing they're looking for. Because I explained to you about, I knew the stack. I just didn't know the order of execution that would end up on the stack. Showing the employer or showing your prospective interviewer, your interviewer or whatever, that you understand what the stack is and that things are queued off the stack, are executed off the stack, goes a long way more than knowing the answer. Because they can teach you the answer, or you can learn the answer as you work, but but understanding how things operationally function and being able to apply that to logic is what they're going to be looking for. Funny enough, I had an interview like 1 week ago, and this was the first question. Talking about the console one or the overflow one? But like, when they asked you that question, was it just a couple of the console one? Was it that it wasn't like they was just like warming up to find out how much you actually knew? It wasn't like that was the totality of the interview, right? That was like just them understanding how much you knew to start off with, and then they went on to like the meat of the interview. Is what I'm asking. Because like I said, they'll ask you like questions like write a Fibonacci sequence function using recursion. But that's only just for them to see you know how to program and you understand what recursion is. They don't really care if you get it right. Answered correctly, and then they asked me another stuff and I answered, and the interviewer said, well, you're doing some really good stuff. I'm impressed. But I didn't hear back from him. Yeah, I mean, because with this market right now, and I know you're in Egypt, so it's probably different for you there. But in this market, it's a lot. You're going to be up against people, and right now, especially with the way things are going, you're going to be up against people who have more experience right now. But I would just say keep trying, because eventually you're going to run into somebody. You're going to run into somebody who needs junior developers more than they need somebody who has more experience but was working less right now until the industry gets better, and then they'll leave that job. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, all right. So I'm kind of done for tonight. I'm going to find somebody to raid. Let me look around. If you'll hang out with me through the raid. Let's see who we got here. see. Do we find somebody new or do we look for somebody? Look for one of our friends. There isn't anybody. None of our friends are on that. I haven't raided a number of times. Raid this guy called Artisan. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you. Everybody that came through. I will probably be back on later this week, probably around Wednesday, doing more of this. Y'all stay safe, make great games, and I will see you next time.